Hi, I'm Walter Trout. Well, I've been asked to say a few words about my dear friend Jesse Ed Davis, and this is an honor and a privilege for me to be able to talk about my good buddy. I moved to California in 1974, trying to start a musical career. I'd been here a couple of weeks and I went to a party in Hollywood, and there was Jesse Ed Davis, and I was a mega fan. I knew all of his stuff, all of his work. I was starstruck, and somebody told me Jesse was looking for a rhythm guitar player for his band, and I summoned up my courage and asked him if I could audition for his band. And he said, "Who've you played with?" I said, "A bar band in New Jersey." But lo and behold, I got the audition with him, and I got the gig. And suddenly there I was, a kid from a little farm town in New Jersey, playing with one of my guitar idols, somebody who I studied his work. I played in Jesse's band for 2 years. It was a great band. We played all over LA, Santa Barbara, San Diego. I used to drive him to sessions. He didn't really like driving. I remember taking him to a Rod Stewart session and just sitting back and watching him work. And I drove him to a Phil Spector session one time, and I had a great time with him. Some of the things he taught me I'll never forget. The first thing he told me at the first rehearsal was, when you go bump, ba bump, ba bump, ba bump, it's got to be downstrokes, no upstrokes. He was very, very firm on that one, and I still play them that way. He also talked to me about vibrato on the guitar, and I'll never forget. He said, "Walter, you want to have a vibrato that invites people in, that soothes them and makes them feel good." He said, "Some guitar players have a vibrato that makes you want to run and hide." He said, "You want them to come to you. You want them to love the sound of that vibrato. It should be sweet." I tried to imitate his vibrato and learn as much as I could from him. He had one of a kind vibrato. Man, I had some great times. I was driving around LA with him for a couple of years, living the high life. We had a great time. Near the end of his life, I had not seen him for a while, and I had my own band at this time. And in my band, I had Richie Hayward from Little Feat on the drums, and Jesse was having a hard time getting a gig, and he was kind of in bad shape. He was kind of bent over, and he had a cane he was walking with. I gave him a gig, and he played in my band, and I still have some recordings of that band with him and Richie Hayward. It was an amazing band. Jesse gave me a tape of some of his phone messages that I still have. He had phone messages from John Lennon and Mick Jagger and Phil Spector and Pete Townsend, Keith Richards, all these people calling him and leaving him messages. And he was proud of it. He gave me the tape. He had an amazing sense of humor. He was one of a kind. I can tell you one story. When he was walking with the cane and he was playing with my band one night after the gig, he came up and he said, "Hey, Walter, man, can you help me?" And I said, "Yeah, what is it, Jesse?" And he said, "Well, my doctor told me I can't lift anything heavy." And I said, "Oh, you need me to carry your amp or something?" And he said, "No, I need to take a piss and I need you to hold my dick." And, you know... I'm a friend of Taj Mahal's, and Taj and I talk about Jesse every time I see him. And Taj loves that joke, by the way, of Jesse's. But after Jesse passed on, his wife Kelly gave out some of his belongings, and she gave some to me. And one of the things I had of his was a pair of his blue jeans. And, the thought is that part of his spirit was in his belongings. And one night I was going to go play a gig, and I thought to myself, "Hey, Jesse, man, maybe you feel like coming and doing the gig with me." So I put Jesse's blue jeans on, and I went to play the gig that night, and everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. I dropped the guitar broke, I got shocked on the microphone, my amp blew up, it was a disaster. And I looked up and said, okay, Jesse, I get the message. You just feel like kicking back and relaxing right now. He was one of a kind. He was like a brother to me. I learned so much from him about music. And I will tell you, all these years later, when I get up and play, Jesse is still with me. And I carry his music in me, and I try to honor him with my guitar playing. He was a great man. So you all have a great time there honoring the great Mr. Jesse Ed Davis.